I don't know how you feel about the goal of going to Mars, the goal of going to space. It's like the rocket almost looks like a cathedral, doesn't it? It's pointing to the sky, but the Gothic cathedral was aiming at the spiritual transcendent, not the temporal. Not the temporal. It's almost like they're reaching in the wrong direction. For me, when I look at that, I think what they're after. I think there's nothing up there. There's no aliens. None of that. It's not. It's not. You're gonna find nothing up there, and you're
No,
gonna be
it's not
delving
a.
into the material.
It's a space voyage. Sorry, the imagery of space and going into space is an expansionary vision, right? It's the vision of the seafarer. It's like going out and finding new lands, going out and finding new trade partners. And so the outer space is not heaven. Outer space is the ocean. That's the real symbolism. And so the imagery of going out into outer space matches directly both in reality and in the stories that are told around it. All the science fiction that is told around it is related to the encounter of strange races on the edge of the world, right? It's Alexander going to the edge of the world, encountering the dog-headed men. That's what space travel is about. And because going into space is going underwater, right? It's a place of death. It's a place where there is no life, and you can get life through extreme effort, right? It's like garments of skin over garments of skin over garments of skin. So in order to create a civilization on Mars, you need so much protection around you, like so many layers of technology that, like you said, it's not something which I think is truly feasible, unless it's a breakout moment. Like if it's a flood moment, maybe that's it. Like if it's really a flood and the world is going to be consumed, and then there's one. Elon Musk, I think it's today, posted an image of a spaceship that was like Noah's Ark, with animals going on it.
Yeah, but he's sort of culture jacking it as well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't think he's completely like he's an intuitive person. I don't know how much he thinks it out, but see, he might be, that might be his image. Like that might be the myth that he's attached on. It's more like expansion and conquest and
he's definitely absorbed that. You can tell from his like of science fiction and such. But when I look at, there's an interesting philosopher that posted a video about Elon, and it made me think. I hate to say it, everyone. He's not our guy though, Elon. It made me think Antichrist, to be honest, because this philosopher talked about it. It's in framing. It's ultimate. What he ultimately wants is Twitter to be this dialectic that sucks up data at its highest latency. So truth as it's instantly appearing. But the thing is, because it's propositional, it's not really truth, and it will just ultimately disconnect from being. This is what Heidegger would say about it anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that came to my mind when you said that. But
yeah, well, for sure, he's very particular because he, on the one hand, he sees the way to resist, let's say, the oncoming onslaught of techno intelligence in general as an arms race. That's how he sees it. He doesn't see it as if you look at the way that in scripture, for example, in the book of Revelation, the way it's presented, it's like, here's this system setting itself up with like a name that you can't avoid, with like a mark, this idea of identity that is completely, that without it, you cannot participate in reality. And there's a sense in which, like, when that arrives, like, head for the hills, basically, right? That's the image in Revelation. Those that avoid it, that simply decide to live in the woods for a year and a half, or for 2 years or whatever, that they're the good guys. But whereas I think Elon tends to conceive it as an arms race, like as we need to be able to fight the machines, which is weird because he makes weird jokes in his even in his own technology. And so it's like the Starlink is Skynet. I mean, it's like those two names are just right next to each other. Obviously, the people who named it Starlink were thinking of Skynet when they named it. And so it's like a weird thing where it's like, on the one hand, he wants to fight it, but on the other hand, he's building it. It's weird.